Well, nobody can tell that though. You don't.
Yeah. So how long have you been breeding rats?
So we started doing the rats in December.
Okay.
Because like I said, when, we did the LLC October, and then I was like, okay, let me do our taxes, and I started tallying up all expenses, and I saw how much that we spent on frozen thawed last year, and that didn't even include what we went to the local places and bought live.
Right.
And when I saw that dollar amount, I was like, whoa, no, we need to start breeding rats.
See, that's where we are right now.
Yeah.
So we got from Lane Labs, and we go to the Serpentarium, which is still a discounted compared to Petco, or even PetSmart, but it's still, $100
Oh yeah,
a week.
I was dropping on a small rat, $5 a rat, $4 or $5 just for one rat.
Right.
And then the lady that was running the store in town, so I would, if I had like single gene enchies or normals that passed, I would just go, here you go, take them. She would give me some free rodents, but that way she had stock to sell at her store.
Right.
So, every week I was going and, dropping $60, $70 on live feeders plus whatever we were ordering from Big Cheese. And it was just like, man, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot.
Yeah. And to build.
It's a food bill.
And these are, they're cheap to build. It doesn't take much. The tubs at Lowe's are like $7 and some change.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen those.
So then you go buy probably 9 2x4s. And then I split because, you go buy 2x2s at the store and they're all warped.
Right.
And a 2x2 at the store right now is like $370, $380. Well, it's the same price for a 2x4.
2x4, right.
So you take your table saw, just split your 2x4s, make your own 2x2s. They're not warped.
And
So
set up the.
Yeah. So you got the sliders in there, and then the hardware cloth.
Okay.
Which really the hardware cloth and the tubs are going to be the most expensive. The wood isn't cheap, and you can do your regular Lowe's buckets, and make that stuff where you spend, I think it was like $17 for the kit from Reptile Basics.
Okay.
And the tubing's cheap, and the watering systems are.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking at it so that the rats just come here and drink water out of the nozzle.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I just cleaned this one right before y'all got here. So it's just like, hey. And they do good in here. So there's little pups.
Some pup rats. Oh, that's cool.
And she's a good mom. And so we got them. And then where's the? Oh yeah. See, we did some mice at the beginning because they just reproduce so fast. So it was something that we could, start supplementing, and then the local shop in town, if they run low on mice, they'll hit us up. Like I stopped by yesterday and she's like, I'm going to reach out to you in a couple weeks. I need more mice. I was like, well, I got a whole bunch that are getting ready to be weaned and some that just got laid, or some litters that just got laid. So then she'll come over and I'll take them to the store.
Okay.
Here you go. Take a bunch of them.
They definitely need reptile breeders that are breeding rats too.
That's
for sure.
And then love the ASFs. Where y'all maybe after. Ooh. So you got a little bird back in here. So there's some big ones. So these are getting ready to get, they're on pretty much hopper size. They're going to come out pretty soon.
Okay. So in relation to the other rats, are ASFs easier to breed, or why do you think we just don't have more of those even in pet stores? So is there I know that you can't take them across state lines, but is there another issue with them?
No, I mean they reproduce very quickly and they do very well in their little colonies. So like we have these set up where there's three males and one female, and they help take care of each other's babies when they're hatching. And like we went to Vegas last week and came back and it was like we need to wean these one off, and I was like, oh wait, there's another they're sitting in there with them. So yes, they reproduce pretty quick. And they do very well in colonies. They take care of each other, and the regular rats do also. Okay. We have a couple of them set up. But usually, like I'm getting ready to build a maternity rack. I got some FB10 tubs that I ordered from Freedom Breeder, and I'm gonna do 24 tubs total. So it'll be three wide, 8 tall, and then the rats, when the females, they'll go in there by themselves to have, you know, the little alone time while they give birth to their little
That's
babies.
cool. And I think that's what people really don't realize. Like, so when you tell people that you want to breed snakes, the first thing they think of is something crazy. You know, like, is it poisonous? Is it going to bite you? But they don't realize the amount of care that reptile breeders, or even a lot of good reptile keepers, do for their animals, whether they're the feeder animal, such as the rats or the mice.
Oh yeah, and like the rodents that we're producing, we know what we're feeding them. You know,
Right.
they get Missouri, but then it's also supplemented. You know, she's given carrots and greens and all the stuff on the side that is so good for them nutrient wise.
Right.
It's not just like, okay, yeah, this is just a run of the mill. We're feeding them crap, and they're gonna, here you go. We don't care. No, we want whatever we're feeding our snakes. We want it to be quality. And then if somebody comes and gets, you know, rodents from us, we want it to be, hey, you're getting quality stuff. These aren't just stuff that's neglected. We take our time. She's out here every day making sure, you know, like this one was just cleaned on the 8th. You know, this one was just cleaned on the 8th.
Oh yeah.
This one was the 8th. She's out here constantly, so she takes care of the rodents. So she makes sure those tubs are clean. And in here, she probably cleans them every 4 days because the humidity's a little higher. You know, once we move into there, then we're expanding. Everything's not going to be so closed in.
Okay.
And then I've had people ask, well, you got the rodents in the same room with the snakes. The snakes aren't they? No, I cleaned her big cage last night, and I'm holding her. You know, she's right around here. That doesn't affect them at all. If anything, it might help if they're feeding a little bit. But as far as
they're not savages. They're not trying to just lash
now,
out
if you're
at people.
sitting here handling all the rats and you got the smell in your hand, then you reach into the tub to grab a snake. Yeah, you're gonna get bit.
Right.
They know that smell.
Yeah,
He's saying you're gonna get bit. But if you're just moving snakes, cleaning, or you know, because we handle them as much as we can, at least once a week. They're just not, you know, money makers for us per se. You know, they're our pets too, so they get the same amount of love that the dogs or anybody else does. You know, we'll come in here on a Friday night and have music or YouTube going, and we're taking snakes out and we're handling, you know, these 4 this weekend, the next 4 3 days later. Even the hatchlings, we make sure we're taking them out and handling them. So, you know, if we're selling them to somebody who's buying their first snake, you know, they're getting something that's used to being handled. And, you know, we don't take them out every day, but at least once a week, you know, they're getting handled. Yeah. So it's not just, hey, all you're doing is opening it up when they're feeding them, and then that's it.
Yeah, that sounds so familiar.
Absolutely.
Well, all right, guys. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. I'm here with Chain Reaction Exotics. Again, Danny graced us with showing us their great facility, and check us out the next time. All right, thanks, guys.
Have a good one.